Konnichiwa, what's up, Degenerated here, and this is the end of day 1 of no social media for 7-day challenge that I'm putting myself through. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I was super productive today. I procrastinated on stuff that I was supposed to do naturally, but that's just a personality trait at this point. But at least I procrastinated productively, um, like cleaning and stuff like that. So I managed to vacuum everything. I rearranged my furniture, and I did what any beginning to a mental health recuperation starts with, and that's washing the goddamn bed sheets. So the bed sheets are nice and clean. I caught up on a lot of anime that I've been putting on the back burner for months at this point. I did some work that I was supposed to do. Today was a national holiday, so I didn't go to work. But I went out, I took a walk. The weather was absolutely glorious today. The bed sheets dried very quickly. I did a little bit of shopping for some daily necessities. Um, Overall, it felt good. I feel good right now. I'm about ready to go to bed on day 1. I woke up this morning and I reached for my phone, but there was nothing to check on there because I blocked most of the notifications. And there was also nothing to check on my computer. So oddly enough, I just started my day without that half-hour social media scroll. And normally on a weekend, I would just go back to bed and just pound the snooze button for 2 more hours. But today I actually got up and stayed up, which I'm not sure if that's from the lack of social media or not, but I went with it. And I had 17 hours of time where not all of them were productive, but where I don't regret any of those minutes, which is a first in a very, very long time. So overall, day 1 was pretty great. No art happened on day 1, but that was to be expected. I kind of anticipated day 1 and possibly part of day 2 to be environment cleaning and, putting enrichment into the tiger cage, so to speak. So it's clean. I got my thoughts in order. I already noticed, it's only been 1 day, but something that I've already noticed is that whatever thoughts I had throughout the day, they were deeper than normal. Because normally I would have a thought and then be like, oh, okay, I'm bored of this thought. I'm going to go scroll through Twitter. But now, even if I had a thought and even if it was boring, I stuck with it and I had to continue thinking about it because there was nothing else to do. So even on day 1, I'm already noticing some pretty impressive results. And that is whatever I was thinking about, even if it was boring or not important, I thought about deeper. Overall, I had more energy throughout the day. I was procrastinating, but I was procrastinating productively. I'm not sure if this positive energy will carry on throughout the other 6 days. In fact, I kind of doubt it will, but we're going to ride this wave while we can. And speaking of riding waves, I actually feel tired at a decent hour of the night tonight. So I'm going to sign off here. Kisses on all your foreheads, and we'll see what happens in day 2 and onwards. All right, it is day 2, and I done goofed already. Don't get me wrong, the morning started off really well. I went into work, I dropped off stuff at work, I did a good bit of studying, which I normally wouldn't do. And then I had a dental appointment. I got humbled at the dental appointment because the dental assistant gave me a very thorough speech on how to brush my teeth better, but that's beside the point. On my way back, I actually took the long way and was able to dedicate a little extra hour to just walking through the park and get myself a Starbucks, which normally I wouldn't be able to do because, that's 12 sessions of 5-minute scrolls. That added up to pretty much that hour scroll, which was nice. However, poop hit the fan when I got home. In the original rules of this challenge, I am not able to start any new games, but I am able to continue old games. So I picked up the console, and I had my copy of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and apparently you get a shiny Meloetta in Pokemon Home if you complete the dex. So I picked up the old game, and I sunk a whole lot of hours into completing the dex. I did do it! I still need the DLC one, though, so no shiny Meloetta yet, but a lot of productivity and a good point and objective of this challenge did get sunk into that game. So we are reviewing and rewriting the rules for the rest of the challenge. I am not allowed to do gaming, even if they're old ones and that I have already started, in order to avoid that from happening again. So it's okay. It's only day 2. I still have 5 more days with the challenge to see just how good I can make things, or bad if that's how they turn out, or so be it. But day 2 had a little oopsie whoopsie. We're gonna see what happens in day 3. In terms of art, I didn't get much done. I picked up Live 2D for like a half hour, fiddled around with it, messed up, and realized I had to start over. So no forward progress was done, but there was definitely learning progress with that. It's something. I'm not quite sure where my art journey will take me this week, whether it'll take me anywhere at all. But we still have 5 more days to figure that out. Okay, bye. It is day 3, and I feel like crap. I'm kind of hoping this is one of those it'll get worse before it gets better kind of things. That day 1 productivity hype is just no longer here anymore. I woke up late, had no reason to stay awake, and then when I got bored, I went to the park again, if I keep on resorting to going to that park whenever I'm bored, I think I'm gonna just train myself to get sick and tired of the stinking park. But one thing I did notice is that I'm reaching out to people that I know more. For the first time in a long time. I messaged my friend from high school first. I messaged my mom first. I messaged my grandma first. So in kind of like a desperate attempt at connection, I'm trying to fall back on the relationships that I had offline. And I told my grandma about how crap I was feeling, and even my Soviet Russian grandmother's best advice was just like, yeah, you're just gonna have to sit this one out and see what happens. Like, all right, grandma, we're just gonna have to, sit through this period of, I don't know, boredom or listlessness or whatever I'm going through. As far as art goes, I think today was the worst day. Even though I didn't do any art Monday or Tuesday, I dedicated the entire latter half of the day to doing art, and I just so didn't feel like it that in order to avoid it, because I had nothing better to do, I took a nap and threw off my entire sleeping schedule. And I'm not sure if my art blockage or refusal or unwanting to do art has anything to do with social media at this point, but I just don't want to do it. I don't want to force myself. It feels weird. But speaking of naps, I have noticed that in the past, 2 days that I have been dreaming more, which is weird because I don't usually tend to dream like at all. And if I do dream, I don't remember them like at all. For the first time in like a long time, I've been having dreams that at the very least I can kind of sort of remember. So I'm not sure if sleep quality is improving or not improving, but that's an interesting thing that I thought I'd notice. But yeah, day 3 feels like crap, and it's been kind of detrimental to art progress. Luckily tomorrow I go back to work, so I'll have real people to distract me. Well, I can't believe we're almost halfway done. I hope it goes up from here at some point. Yeah. We are more than halfway through at the end of day 4 of the challenge, and even though I'm still feeling a bit energy-less, I definitely do not feel as crappy as I did yesterday. I went into work today, went through a daily motion, and I don't know how else to put this, but I just feel normal. I just feel like a normal human being doing normal human being things, and I actually tasted my coffee today. I perceived its flavor, and I don't know how else to word that better, but that's the vibe of the day. As far as art goes, I set aside some time. I still don't want to do any. I have no motivation to pick up a pencil. There's nothing really to look forward to, which just reaffirms my previous opinion that people who say that you should learn to do art for yourself are just full of shit. But that's a whole nother tangent. For the internet, dopamine with X and Twitter and Blue Sky and Twitch and whatever else is left. I don't want to go back. I don't miss it. Not any of it. None of those. I'm actually not looking forward to the challenge ending because it means I do have to go back, and if I get hooked again, like damn, I don't know what'll happen. Again, we're only about halfway through, but as it stands, I do not want to go back online. I am not happy, but satisfied with where my attention has been directed. And the thoughts I have been not suppressing with dopamine hits of scrolling. I'm quite satisfied with not coming back. Day 5, and I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to like mellow out and get accustomed to just not checking, social media at all. Like I was Googling some stuff so I could get information on an event. So I turned my website blocker off. And I just straight up forgot to turn it back on for like 2 days. And even without its help, I just naturally didn't reach for anything. I didn't reach for Twitter. I didn't reach for Blue Sky. I think habits are starting to form, which is really, really nice, of just not checking. Same with my phone. I found that I have actually lost my phone more often than normal because I just don't feel the need to check it. I don't feel the need to have it on me at all times. Now, arguably, losing my phone is a pretty bad thing, but not feeling the need to reach for it so often is pretty good. I'm still not making any art, but I think the reason for that is I just have so much going on in the rest of my life, like the Japanese test, there's stuff at my work I need to take care of, international living, living in Japan or being a citizen of the US, all of that good stuff. I just don't think I have the spoons for it right now, but maybe once things start to, settle down, maybe the motivation will come back out of me again. But I don't know, I like it. I'm not bored, but I definitely feel relaxed. I feel like my entire life has mellowed out a bit, even though the situation and circumstances have not. I feel like I have mellowed out. As it stands, I still don't want to go back to the internet. I am kind of starting to miss like digital art and seeing, what other Live 2D riggers have been doing, what other people have been drawing, some anime illustrations. I am starting to get a little bit of a tingly missing feeling for all of that stuff. But otherwise, I still don't really feel a pull to come back to the internet or streaming or watching videos or checking social media. We still have the grand finale, the big whammy, the weekend. 2 more days coming up in the challenge. And as it stands, I will be out with friends. I will be doing stuff. So I will still be busy. And we'll see what happens. But overall, day 5, I feel like I've gotten used to not checking social media, and just I overall feel more mellow and forgiving of myself and my schedule. It is not day 6, it is actually the morning of day 7. Yesterday on day 6, we actually went on like a walk through the woods. I went with some friends, and then when I came back, I just passed out and fell asleep under the kotatsu. So I didn't make a log. So we're making a log this morning. On that note, I will never understand people's obsession and enjoyment of the nature. Why we had to go through the woods, I have no idea. The company was lovely. Doing it was absolutely lovely, but it would have also been absolutely lovely in civilization as well. So I do not understand the nature. I hate the nature. But other than that, like, there's really not much to say, especially in terms of the challenge, because I was just really focused on the activity, which was hanging out with people. And then, like, the story kind of ends there. But there is, I think, 20 hours left in the challenge. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Things just feel normal and settled, and also kind of with a lack of energy. I don't know. It's like I got all my productivity out of the way on the first day, and now it's just like I'm just kind of sitting here bored, twiddling my thumbs. But I know that going back to the internet will not scratch that itch anymore. So we continue the thumb twiddling. Clocking in at day 7. There's only, 2.5 hours left until I'm allowed to go back online. Today was a stay-at-home kind of chill day. I did some housing stuff. I've also found myself that like yearning for media. So I did watch some anime, but I felt like I watched it more enthusiastically than normal. So I guess that counts for something. I did actually, on the last day of the challenge, get some freaking art done. I did a little bit of art touch-up for the new model, and I did hair rigging today. Getting started was very difficult. I actually had to, like, figuratively grab myself by the scruff of my neck and sit myself down behind the desk and to do the thing. But once I got started, the ball got, like, rolling. So getting motivation to begin the task of art is still difficult, even on day 7. But, like, once I sit down and start doing it, I can concentrate on it for a good long while. In fact, I think my hands started hurting before my concentration started hurting. I think the thing that really helped with that is I romanticized the environment I was working in. Today, the weather was perfect. It was rainy. It was crappy outside. It was foggy. There was zero motivation to go outside. I had the kotatsu on. I had a fireplace video on loop playing on my TV. It was warm and cozy, and I romanticized the idea of using this very cozy stay-at-home day to get art done. And I think that's the kick in the butt that I needed to actually sit down at my chair and get some freaking art done. It's just unfortunate that the motivation had to come from external sources rather than internal ones, but hey, I'll take it. I am actually starting to miss other people's art here on day 7. I haven't been able to see anyone do anything. I think the closest thing that I've come to art is the cover art for Spotify songs, because I allowed myself Spotify because my playlist is not strong enough to withstand a week. And I think that's the closest thing to illustrations I've gotten, so I am starting to kind of miss other people's art. What did I learn, and what are my plans for the future? I learned that my attention span actually was kind of freaking fried, and taking a break from, scrolling was actually really, really nice productivity-wise, even after the initial hype of the day 1 and after the low slump of days 3 and 4. I think in the future, I will actually put forth some hardcore limits on scrolling and YouTube videos, because the theory is the more rare it is, the more special it feels. So if I have access to it all the time, it doesn't feel special. That's why the dopamine hits don't quite itch to itch, right? So if I put like hardcore limits, like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours a day at maximum, and set like app timers and website extension browsing timers to help me do that, I think it'll overall feel better. But quitting cold turkey, do I recommend it? Actually, yes, absolutely yes. If you want to try just like a week without scrolling, I actually hardcore recommend you people, or if you want to like get off social media, to try just a week. A week was a very nice sweet spot, but you do have to keep in mind that there will be a hump. It's going to feel like crap, and it's going to feel like you really, really want to cover up those feelings with a dopamine hit and go back on the internet. And I think the most important part, from at least my experience, is to power through that hump. If you can power through that hump, I found like on day 5, 6, and 7, I was actually starting to enjoy my own company. And everybody like goes, I'll be like, oh, but I gotta sit alone with my thoughts. It's like, yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah, you gotta do that. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. You're gonna hate your own company more before you enjoy your own company. But I think if you get over that hump, it's gonna feel better. Because I certainly do. I certainly do. I highly recommend anyone else try it. Honestly, if I could go for 2 weeks, I'd say no problem. I'd kick my feet up. I could do 2 weeks. I think I'd start to miss, other people's art a little bit more, and I'd still get a little desperate for, media. But I don't think I'd get desperate for a scroll or hits of dopamine or a YouTube video anymore. I enjoy my headspace right now a lot more than I did starting this challenge. So take away from that what you will. And if you do attempt the challenge, set your own rules however you want to. But after going through this and after experiencing literally my thoughts change, like my headspace change, I recommend other people try to do it as well, especially if they feel like their own scrolling is a little out of control. Even if your own scrolling isn't out of control, maybe put on some more limits. I don't know. It feels good. It feels good, and I want to share this feeling with other people. And with that, I guess the challenge is going to end here very, very soon. I got to get some video editing done, and I hope to have my experiences shared and up and running. Kisses on all your foreheads. This has been Degenerita without social media for 7 whole days.